Hello, I'm Artifacts of Mars, and I've been wanting to do this video for some time. I wanted to address Christians primarily, well, there may be other religions who have the same issue. And what I'm talking about is aliens, alien visitation, UFOs, that kind of thing. Now, there's this regrettable tendency I've noticed among some Christians, not all of them, some. They instantly mention UFOs, alien beings, what have you. All you hear is demon, 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 demon. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not rational. And that's what I'm addressing here. That is Dark Ages, Middle Ages thinking. You know, today is a totally different world. You know, back then it was a time of sin eaters. You know what a sin eater was? That, and this was church sanctioned. Sin eater, it was some kind of ritual that would take on the sins of others. Today, standard church doctrine is you get down on your knees and pray to Jesus. It's all fine with me, I don't care. Well, that, shows you the mentality that really happened. When they had bloodletting, using leeches, and all sorts of horrifying things. You also had the church teaching the earth was the center of the universe. The earth was flat. The sun revolved around the earth. None of which is true. Believe it or not, there's still some idiots out there who believe this. And if you honestly believe the earth is flat, if you honestly believe that, or that it's the center of the universe, please find a good psychiatric hospital and get some treatment. Okay. Well, that's the kind of thinking that existed back then. Now, let's do a hypothetical. Helicopters flying over modern-day London. But something happens and it's sent back to the year 1400 or earlier. What are the people going to say when they look at it? They're going to say it's a demon. And if they have to land, they get out, they're demons or witches or whatever, and they're going to be burned alive at the stake. That's the mentality, and something I can't stand. The same identical mentality to those who are saying this stuff today that we're looking at demons and what have you. I'm sorry, but it's not true. Right now we have whistleblowers coming forward saying that they have worked on alien technology. Now what would a demon need with that? A demon wouldn't need anything with alien technology. That's the point. It wouldn't need anything to do with technology. You're at a serious disadvantage anyway because, I don't even have to prove spacecraft exist. They're ubiquitous. They're in orbit and this kind of thing. Satellites, all sorts of craft. They're ubiquitous. We're sending them to all the planets. You don't have a single thing where you can tell me that you can identify a demon by looking at it. So already in this discussion you're at a serious disadvantage. You can neither prove demons exist, but we can certainly prove spacecraft exist. And So you got a serious problem there. Well, the truth is, if you ever watched the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy, this is another illustration. A Coke bottle falls out of an airplane, and the African bushman picks it up, and he's going, "What on earth is this?" And he figures the gods dropped it. Okay? So that's another illustration of what's going on here. It's the exact type of thinking. But we're on the precipice of a new world. I could care less about AI. I think it'll probably benefit us in the long run. But at some point, and it's not going to be long, they're going to announce they've definitely found life elsewhere. Just a little while ago, on an asteroid called Bennu, I think it's Bennu, they found sugars, complex sugars, on an asteroid. How do you like that? At some point, I've already seen plants on Mars, but at some point they're going to admit to this, that there is life on other planets. And then that's going to change the whole paradigm. If you're sitting there shouting demons, 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 it's not going to look good for you. You know, we're not talking about demons here. We're talking about flesh and blood creatures from other planets. We're talking about life on other planets that exist separately from our own. Now, on my second life sets, I have these just flat panels to mimic like a forest scene. They're used for, cover, just to make a scene look good. They use as background. If God, as you say, really wanted the Earth to be the center of attention, then why did he make all these planets that are so interesting? Why not make them more like flat panels, backgrounds that I use, for instance? I don't know exactly how that would work, but it's going to happen, and probably sooner than you realize. You're going to be left behind if you don't accept it. You're going to be left behind because you're going to look I'm sorry, I have to say, you're going to look stupid if you're sitting there talking about demons. Well, NASA or somebody else, I don't have any faith in NASA, but NASA or somebody else comes up with something, yes, we found life, it's proof, it's all done. It's going to change the world. And you're going to look stupid if you don't accept it. It's that simple. I got one more thing to say before I go. Most folks probably don't know this, but we're about to begin a transition from Type 0 civilization to Type 1. Type 1 civilization would use fusion power rather than fission. There's a plant being built out west. And if that's successful, you're going to see fusion plants all over this planet. We're advancing. We're still barbaric. But at least in our society today, we don't burn witches. We don't bleed people out with leeches. There is an exception to that. They have been proven useful in draining out parts where they've had to reattach them. They're all swollen. Leeches are actually being used for that. Well, that's neither here nor there. They're not being used for bloodletting per se. So, yeah. And we are advancing And you're going to have to learn to live with it. Because if you don't accept it, you don't live with it, you're going to be left behind. You're going to look silly and absurd. So get with it. Demons don't require technology. If whistleblowers all over the place. Now, we have lawmakers talking about this. Get with the program, start living in the 21st century, and leave the dark ages behind. That's my message to you. I'm Artifacts of Mars. Thank you for your kind attention.